Variant 6 nerf, but will there be compensation? Gifting event drops today. And the holiday calendar, well, they're getting worse. Yes, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel for Marvel Contest of Champions news on a Monday. How you doing? Not doing good by the sound of it, I feel, from what people have seen for the calendars this morning when they woke up and as well when they went live. But we're going to talk about that a bit later on, as well as a whole host of different gifting event related content that I'll be dropping on the channel. So make sure post notifications on all. Make sure to check the feeds over on Discord, over on Twitter, because we've got lots of stuff. Greater gifting crystals to compare, gifting tips, so many different bits of content. Make sure you subscribe with post notifications on all. Also, I'm putting together my Christmas Day content, which is going to be a complete free-for-all for amazing content. Crystal openings, a very special festive podcast with a tier list. Yes, I'm doing a tier list, but not as you might think. Myself and Dan have worked pretty hard on that one, so look forward to that towards the end of the week. But as well, just before we get into the news, I want to give a massive thank you to those that currently support the channel through Patreon and YouTube membership services. Thank you ever so much for that continued support, especially through what has been a very strange end to the year. And as well, those that are massively supporting over on Twitch, those that give gifted subs, those that give tier 1 subs, and as well those very kind people that each month give their Prime Gaming sub. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you can give a free Twitch sub. It doesn't have to be me, but it massively helps out the channel if you can do that. And all those current subs are on screen now, and I'll be live streaming tonight over there, so hopefully see you there. One final thing before we get into the news is to let you know I won't be covering Marvel Realm of Champions on this channel. I will simply be promoting my second channel, which focuses directly on it. In the last week, there's been a bit of a kind of a boost in that channel, and it seems that there are people out there that are interested in the game. I personally love it and enjoy it, but that's down to me. Some people like stuff, some people dislike stuff. That's life. But if you are interested in Marvel Realm of Champions, go over to the link in the description, Rich's Realm. That's where I do all the content for Realm of Champions. Right, let's kick off the news with the announcement or the reminder or the good thing that ends about the year, and December brings the gifting event. Yes, indeed, the gifting event is going to drop later on today. Expect around a normal content upload time of 1800 hours, which is my time, UK time, or 10 AM PST. So look out for that. Now, we will be talking as well in this news about the holiday calendars. And in another video, we'll be talking about the great gifting crystals and doing a comparison, and also talk about where it is for the progression and titleages and stuff like that. But yeah, Christmas is upon us. So yep, get your sharing, get your grinding on, and as well, be safe. Got a guide about, like, you know, advice with the gifting event and being safe a bit later on. But yeah, there's some good stuff on offer. Next up, and shout out to Nick Coss. Now, last week he put together a Magneto Immortal and Thanos Immortal, and whether or not these were symbiote based alterations, they look sick. I must admit, as I've always said, every time Nick does a new video, he pushes the boundaries of what he can do, and as well showcases some great talent. If you look at some of the very early content that he's done and made and modelled, it is very much basic compared with what he's doing as of now. The movements are getting better on the champions. The way that it's incorporating things of the MCU and also comic book lore, and as well in entertainment and just pop culture, which I think is amazing. So massive shout out to Nick. And you should go and check out this video, Thanos Immortal, Magneto Immortal, symbiote-based alterations. Right, one of the more key stories to talk about is Variant 6 compensation, or Variant 6 in general. Here is the big issue here. This was somewhat of a problem. I didn't rush into this path. I actually left this as the final path, quite strangely, to do in that chapter before moving on to doing the other parts of that Variant 6. And for a key reason, I had to think about what I wanted to do, whether or not it was worth putting on the Resonant Mastery. It's a great mastery, right? And I will change some setups in future, especially with the likes of Red Guardian, champions that interact well with debuffs like Void. You know, it is a pretty cool mastery to have, but it's not something that factors into what I'm creating as a mastery at the moment. However, though, that's all going to change next month. But at the moment, let's focus on Variant 6. Our team's identified a node, buff, What's yours is mine, displaying inconsistent behaviour due to an unforeseen technical issue. In order to ensure your continued enjoyment of back issue 6, we have decided to remove the node buff completely from the quest was in chapter 2, quest 2. What's yours is mine buff will be removed effective immediately. We apologise for any inconvenience. We hope this improves your gameplay experience in our back issue 6. And that's the thing, the extent of how working as intended it was to a point that it's painful is going to be the big thing between the community and as well how Kabam see this. Do we feel that we should be compensated? Well, that's something up to the player base to decide. For me, I don't know because I didn't do it. I don't know if I did do it, would I have spent items on it and therefore feel that I should be compensated against the overwhelming difficulty of that path. If you find it difficult, make sure to go out to the forums and have your say and put a collective voice in. If I try and find some forum posts, I'll put it in the link in the description. If you do feel that you want to be compensated, then start a voice of it. There's a few posts here and there, but it hasn't been a big cry that people want compensation. I've seen few people say about stuff, whether or not they're coming out to like Twitter or the Discord or various different places, but it needs to go to the forums. That's usually the best place. Find a thread where people are talking about and as well just kind of like add a bit of pressure onto it. Because if it's all scattered, I mean, you could do a support ticket and find out if Kabam give you an answer back, but as well, it's better as a collective to go to the forums and have a collective say and apply pressure for this particular thing. There are a few threads still talking about the idea of the nerf as well compensation. There's a few threads out there talking about the compensation, the nerf and whatnot. So it's up to you if you want to go and give them a read. A lot of the times they will conflict, I can imagine, against a lot of the people that were looking for this content to be made as the changes have now been put in, rather than how it was originally put out. But it's up to you if you want to dodge those minefields. But yeah, links are in the description as always. Now we move on to the top story of today, and yikes, I bring you in game for this. This is the holiday calendar 2020. And let's just say it follows the same chain of how 2020 has been. A bit disappointing and full of some kind of like toxin. Look, we got we got solo crystal shards. Solo crystal shards in the holiday calendar. I'll be comparing the 2019 and several other years as well in a moment. But yikes. Yeah. I mean, free stuff is free stuff. That's like the thing with it. Free stuff is free stuff. I get that. I understand that. And that's fun. But this isn't fun, especially compared with the other years. Look, Epoch Shards, that's great. But look, we went from having like 18 from doing the other one to then kind of now having, well, what can you get with that? You can't even get 2 Cavalier ones, so that's kind of pointless for people that are Thronebreaker. Health Potion's great. That's okay. I guess they can be used elsewhere. That's alright. Look, I am just trying to find something positive out of something that's just like a bit bland. Because that's the thing, it's free stuff, but it's bland free stuff. It's like getting a gift. It's like getting like a good goodie bag at like a party. When you're a kid, you go to like your mates. You know, they got like a little kind of like goodie bag for you to take away, and it's got that kind of it's got like a whistle in. It's got a whistle. It's got like some colouring pencils and stuff, and like it's just like it's that like you've been given colouring pencils for Christmas. You've been given socks for Christmas. That's what you've been given, effectively. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with getting socks for Christmas. I actually like getting socks for Christmas, but I'm in a comparison to going like you want a PS5, but you got given a pair of socks. That's what I'm kind of like talking about. Your parents said you're gonna get a PS5 for Christmas, and instead they give you socks. You're gonna get a new mobile phone for Christmas, instead you get socks. That's what I'm kind of using as a comparison there. I actually like getting socks, weirdly enough, because it means I don't have to spend for them myself. Just to give me a glimpse into life. That's actually what I asked for my birthday, and I got that, so it was good. Right. Here's the thing. Look, 2017 to 2020 calendars. My word, a lot has changed. There's like it's like the meat and vegetables as well. I mean, this is gonna be a terrible analogy if you're a vegetarian, but you know, it's like the sustenance. It's like either the corn minced turkey or the at Christmas, or the the plump juicy turkey at Christmas. You know, you're not getting the kind of the gubbins. You're not getting the good stuff. You're just looking at this now going, hey, wait a minute. I mean, I would have taken a rehash of last year over this year. That's what I'm talking about. I know Kabam probably will say, well, there's more value to what we're giving, and then, you know, for the Throne Breakers, you know, you better do, and people go to superior solo crystal, and they're good, and it's like, well, no, you can't even get a superior solo crystal, can you? Actually, 6,000. That, yeah, just about. Hang on, so yeah, so you can just get one. Okay, let's see what. Okay, just kind of like, you know, because Kabam say they're incredibly of value. Let's just do that. Let's just set it up now, right? Because they're of huge value. Let's go with one. You know, because I'm saving up a big load of these for an opening. Not that it's going to be too important now, because remember, these are of value. These are of value. Well, that's kind of a value, but then that's saying that's the extra that I get. I get a 10% lesser champion boost. So, okay, that's what is that? How much units of value is that? That's nothing. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. But you know, I shouldn't complain, should I? Because free stuff is free stuff. The biggest thing that I just want to emphasize with this is that the holiday or winter calendar were always meant to be the most spiciest end to the years. The things that you just go like, oh my god, this game. You end the last year, or the last month of the year, with this hype that sees you through those cold months, that makes you long for something until we see the Summoner Appreciation Calendar. The thing that makes you go, you know, man, Kabam hit it out of the park for decent stuff in December, and I'm like, wow. I mean, this is the thing, and this is the problem with them putting too much like content out in December. Not a bad thing, but at the same time, they have to understand like what they're putting out. If they're putting out stuff where they're going like 6-star shards this, 6-star shards that, Epoch crystal shards this, free gift that's mega this, and then there's other stuff like that, and then they just kind of go this kind of like peak, and they just go flatline. It's like no, like maybe you should have then spaced stuff out. And this is why this will be a big week for what drops on Christmas Day with the holiday gift. And if it is that point, then what they've done is they've gone ooh, clear, and they've kind of then resurrected us from kind of going, oh mate, Kabam don't know what they're doing with these kind of like last hype of the year rewards to then get us like, oh yeah, hyped into the next year. So yeah, that's just my kind of like thoughts about this, is that I personally would have preferred last year's to this year's. I mean, look at it. Like, it's just the 2019 versus 2020. It's just like 2,000 4-star shards. I'd even take that over some of the stuff that, you know, I'm seeing, but ugh. I don't know, put in the comment section, how do you feel about like this year's calendar? I can imagine there's going to be a consensus on this. But yeah, you're right, Kabam needs to respond. I hope, and this is my personal hope, is that they are cooking up something extra juicy for us. That is something we're not going to expect. And that's why the rewards aren't as good. The calendar is not as good as it is. That's my personal hope, right? And here's the thing. Hopes can be dashed. You can build yourself up on a positive, but at the same time, as I said, they've gone peak, flatline. So get them defibrillators out, Kabam. Get them defibrillators. Get up some summoners and go boom, and get them back up again. Come on, this is I need some calendar Viagra here. I need to get up on some stuff. Like this ain't getting. This has got me like flaccid as anything. So yeah, disappointing to see this, and we had to do the compare off against the last few years. It's not been good to see. So Kabam, you've got to do your bit. There is a forum at the moment, forum thread that's going on about this. I'm not going to go and use it until it's been responded to by Kabam, or there's been like just further mention of it and whatnot, because it's basically like a fart situation, a cut and run situation that somebody's farted into a room and then legged it out of it, and then like everybody's there just with the fart, and then you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, we need to speak to that person. Why do they just come into the room, fart, and then leave? that's what this is. This kind of situation has largely felt like. So we're gonna have to wait until later on. But yeah, I've got other content. I'll update you like later on. If not today, if not, it'll be in other videos of what's going on with the situation. But look, I don't think they'll change it. I think that's done. But I think that there must be something else. If the Cavalier objective has not gone out, there must be something else Kabam are holding on to content-wise. I don't know about it. They haven't told me about it. They haven't told anybody in the CCP. They haven't told us, anybody, right? So there must be something left over. If the objective, the Cavalier objective, has not been put out, and there's no other new content being put out, there must be something that they're cooking up that is hopefully going to mean that we won't see such a bad end to this calendar. But there you go. It is what it is, and we've got to move on to arena predictions and results. And now, arena predictions. All predictions for round 2 are down below at the moment. Based on some of the results, I think Daredevil might have gone a bit higher than 25 mil I predicted, but it's difficult to get the full information of cutoffs. I would say with Hitmonkey, 2 mil is fine because the champion actually, I think the lowest I've seen would be about 1.8 mil. So yeah, there's a lot of kind of lower cutoffs in some places and higher cutoffs in others. Give you some examples, like on screen at the moment. This one here that shows that Daredevil Hell's Kitchen wasn't being got at 22 mil, but that may come in line with that 25 mil I first hand predicted. But I did see a 23 mil saying something exactly the same. Also, there's just proof of the 4-star Daredevil Netflix. I keep saying that Daredevil Hell's Kitchen, with it going for 4.8 mil. So yeah, 5 mil might even be enough rather than me predicting 5.5. And also, just to let you know, this is being claimed, so it's not exactly fact that I can't get the info. 1.8 mil for Hitmonkey. So that's the thing, it more than likely has gone near that 2 mil threshold, so that's why I've predicted 2 mil for round 2. And there we go, that has been Marvel Contest of Champions news for Monday. As I said, lots of info, lots of videos are going to be dropped today on the channel, so make sure you're supporting. Make sure you're here with post notifications on all. If you want the Marvel Realm of Champions channel, it's Rich's Realm just over there. Just click the icon and go subscribe, and I'll see you later on for more content.